Hey everybody. Well, quite a bit going on in the news. I won't go into all of it though, because I just want to talk about the pat down at the airport of the 6-year-old girl, and people are up in arms over that. What do you think? Do you think it's right that they gave her a full body pat down, or do you think that that was unnecessary? Some people are saying, well, most people are saying it's unnecessary. I don't agree. However, most people are saying we teach our children not to let anybody touch them in their private places, and here they are with a pat down, and this is going to send the child mixed messages. It's not going to send that child mixed messages if you get the message to that child first. If you're going to fly, this is what you have to do. You can let them know that this is nothing personal against them, that nobody's trying to hurt them in any way, and mommy and daddy's going to be right there, and that this is the procedure. This is what you have to go through. And you'll be there to make sure that nothing happens to them. The parents that are outraged over this procedure probably stood there, the mother probably stood there crying, "They're touching my baby," like that, and scared the child more than anything. It's ridiculous. You have to let your children know, if you're going to fly, this is what you got to go through. You can't. Some people say we need to make different rules for children under a certain age. No, you don't. No, you do not. Because if you make different rules for children under that age, everybody's going to know about this, and what are they going to do? There's going to be some terrorists out there that's going to start using children as mules, and then we're going to be back to square one. I say, if you don't want your child patted down like that, take a train, drive, take a bus. And that's just my view on it. If my children were babies and they want to pat them down, fine, pat them down. I'd rather have everybody patted down and be safe than to say, oh, that child looks innocent, let them go on through. No. And second, what about the woman who got on the school bus and was arrested and thrown to the ground by the police officers because her daughter was being bullied? She got on the bus, and it showed it on the news. She got on there, and she calmly asked the bus driver, said that they needed to talk about her daughter who was being bullied on the bus, on the bus. Well, the bus driver got irate and called her daughter a little liar. Now, maybe this child is a liar, and maybe she lies to no end. We don't know this. However, if she didn't, now she's on a bus with bullies, and knowing that the bus driver called the police on her mommy, they threw her mommy down to the ground and arrested her mommy, and the bus driver is calling her a liar. You know that child's going to be traumatized. That's a high school dropout waiting to happen right there, because they're going to be too scared to go to school. All this bullying going on in the schools, and now they're talking about, cyberbullying and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. Bullies will never go away. That's a fact. Somebody's always going to bully somebody. However, this seems to me like there are steps that the schools should be able to take. I remembered when my son was a little boy, and I've told this story before, so I won't go into it. When he was being picked on by that little boy, I was there at that school every day, and they did nothing. Nothing I said made a difference. And finally, the secretary told me, well, about as far as calling that child's parents, well, you know how some people are. Some people are just not going to listen. And she didn't even try. Teachers did nothing. Secretary did nothing. Nobody did anything. And then I talked to the principal. And then because my son stood up for himself when nobody else would, they wanted to suspend him. No. So, after I got done talking to the principal and telling him what this person didn't do and that person didn't do, and nobody was listening and nobody did anything, he suspended the bully and some of the friends, but he did not suspend my child. But it's a sad situation when you've got to go on and on and on to keep somebody from bullying your child. So, I think there should be some rules in place. If you bully somebody one time, you're suspended for X amount of days. If you bully a second time, maybe you're suspended for the year. Maybe if you're caught bullying somebody 3 times, you fail that year. How's that? And that's going to stop a lot of bullying. If you're caught bullying somebody, maybe not 3 times, maybe let's just have a 0 tolerance, then you'll fail that school year. Granted, some of the bullies are not going to care. But like I said, they're always going to be out there. Or if you're in high school, if you bully somebody, you can't have your license until after you graduate. You know, something like that. But people and people, authority figures want to baby the children. Just like they had this one video on CNN of this little fat kid being, he was being bullied, and somebody was videoing it with a phone. And so it showed it. And this boy went up and shoved the overweight boy several times, and the overweight boy just stood there looking at him. And so finally the boy hit him again, and that overweight boy picked that child upside down and body slammed him and walked away. And the overweight boy that was being bullied is the one who got suspended for it. When it's clear on that video that it was the bully that started it. This makes no sense. Where is the logic? Please, where is the logic in that? I don't think the overweight boy should have been suspended at all. That's what I say to him. Because I don't think he should have been suspended at all. I don't think both of them should have been suspended together. I think the bully for starting it should have been suspended. That's what I think. But it's like teachers in schools are afraid to do anything to children these days. They want to coddle them. I don't know whether they're afraid of them or what's going on. And everybody wants to be so politically correct. Well, let's not spank our children. We're sending them the wrong message and blah, 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 blah. The message that you're sending them is you can do any damn thing you want to, and there are no consequences because you rule the adults. That's the only message that I think that they're sending them. That would have never happened when my kids was growing up. Never. And it shouldn't be happening today. And all the time you see kids running around. They're running around in the roads. They're running around on their bicycles. And they won't move. They'll turn around and look at you like you're stupid. You see them in Walmart. Because I don't go to the mall. I go to the mall maybe twice a year. And it's just right down the street. But I'll go there maybe twice a year. But most of the time when I'm in Walmart, you got kids standing out in the middle of the aisles, and they'll look at you when you're trying to get by, and they'll just look at you, and they'll keep doing whatever they're doing. It's like they have no common sense. They have no concept of what to do because they're so used to doing whatever the hell they want to. And that's their concept on everything. So, I know the other day when I came home from work, there was a little girl. And usually I don't see very many kids around where I live, but there was this one particular little girl, and she was in this little old, I guess you call it a little electronic car for kids, you know. And so I come down into the circle, and I go to pull in my driveway, but she's in front of my driveway. Well, she moves her, she drives over to the side right in front of my driveway. I'm still sitting there. Finally, she gets out. And she pushes the car up on my driveway and puts it right in the middle of my driveway and gets back in and sits there looking at me. And then some boy came out of nowhere, and he came over there and got her and took her out of the driveway, and I pulled in. But do you know, neither one of them said, I'm sorry. Neither one of them, you know, nothing. It was ridiculous. I would have whipped my kids' asses at that age if they did something like that. My kids would have never done that because they had respect. And that's what people are liking these days. And on this subject, God knows, I could go on and on and on and on and on. It's ridiculous. It's just so ridiculous. And that's why we have so many bullies today. That's why we have so many bullies. And I am sure that there are kids out there with, what is it, ADD, attention deficit disorder. I'm sure, you know, they're out there, and I'm sure they need their medication, and they do very well with it. But I'm sure that there are many, many children out there that's probably on that medication that does not even have that disorder. Think about it. Attention deficit disorder. These kids that don't give a damn just not going to listen. So, therefore, Little Johnny won't sit still in class, and I can't get little Johnny to shut up, and little Johnny just talks all the time, and little Johnny keeps pulling little Susie's hair. I'm at my wit's end because I don't know what to do. Oh, he has ADD, attention deficit disorder. Let's give him these pills. Come now. Bust little Johnny's ass now and then, and little Johnny wouldn't act that way. I know I did a video. Now, I'm not saying this for every child with ADD out there. I'm not saying that, so don't jump on me. There's some that have it, but there's many out there that do not. Anyway, I did a video about child discipline and spankings, and I've had thousands of views on that video, and I think the majority of a lot of people agree with me, but I think more or less than not, a lot of them don't agree with me. And some of them that don't agree with me will cuss me out and call me every name in the book. What kind of example are you setting for your children if you're going to cuss me out and that's okay? It makes no sense. But I'll take it with a grain of salt. Not everybody's going to have the same opinion on everything. And in my life, mine is the one that matters to me. You know, just like yours is what matters to you. And that's okay. It's what makes the world go around. Not everybody's going to agree with everything that everybody's got to say. But anyway, I started this off just to talk about the child on the plane, but I drifted down that road because that subject just really gets under my skin more than anything else. But anyway, oh, one more thing, and I might do a video about this tomorrow. You know, at Christmas time, that they want to be politically correct to make you say happy holidays. Well, now they want to take Easter out of Easter. So if they get their way about that, Easter eggs will no longer be Easter eggs. They will be spring spears. Oh, let's go spring spear hunting. How many spring spears did you get? Are we going to color spring spears today, Mommy? Please. Leave it alone. Easter is Easter. It always has been. Why change it now? Because somebody that gets offended by it says so? Face it, anytime somebody gets offended, it's the smaller majority gets offended, but the bigger majority has to change things for that smaller majority of people. And most of the time, that smaller majority of people are the ones who don't celebrate it, and they don't want anybody else to either. It makes no sense. If you do not celebrate Easter, and if you do not like Easter, leave the rest of us the hell alone and let us do what we want to. And they will always be Easter eggs to me. They will never be a spring spear, and you cannot make me say it. Anyway, I've completely gone off track, so I'm going to save that story for tomorrow. And until next time, bye-bye.